So we got to take things serious. We got to get right or get left.
We're the only ethnic group that sends our most prized possessions to our enemies that have their minds shaped and molded.
Peace and love, black families. The Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson. I want to give a shout out to Black Ice TV. Make sure you watch it, support it. The news you can use, the information you can use. Youth, Pan-Africanism, economics, family, community. Make sure you support Black Ice TV because Dr. Umar Johnson.
Sacred is sacred. On the die, mother and father is the basics. Rise like you're supposed to slip out the matrix. Still dumbstruck thinking this is entertainment. Escape to reality. Most lives I keep it raw like Sarah Setti.
All right, Black Eyes TV in the house once again. I'm here with two special speakers, two special faces of the House of Consciousness, representing always from the start till now. Yeah, brothers, introduce yourself and speak about the day that we're here.
Peace and Black Power, family. Death to the Negro. This is your brother Sutek and Ra, representing the House of Consciousness and the Comedic Science of Prosperity. We're here today to discuss unity and moving forward what we need to do as a people and a culture. And we do this every year, maybe 4 or 5 times a year, and it doesn't seem like we're getting this thing together. And I think we need to, what's holding us back with that is we need to define what unity actually is in this day and age. I think unity in 1948 is different than unity in 2017. What we have here today, in my opinion, I'm only speaking for myself, is a gathering of people. And we need those. We can meet, discuss things, and share ideas. But I think the way we get unity in 2017 and going forward is when we unite our dollars. Until we unite our dollars, you know, there's no commitment, there's no sacrifice, and there's no accountability. And that's what my message is for today, is that in order for us to have real unity, we need to walk away from here with the idea of uniting our dollars, and that's the only way we're really going to compete in this country, in this society, and in this economic system.
Peace and power, family. It's an honor and pleasure to be before the lens of my brother on Black Ice TV 7 out of UK. First and foremost, shout out to UK. Shout out to the brothers and sisters, the kings and queens out there on the ground doing it. We got our eye on y'all out here too. All right, so believe that. I'm Brother Sankofa, the new, or the recent present. I'm going to say present because I'm not new. I've been for a few years. I say that because I'm sitting next to this esteemed brother right here who I have a lot of respect for. I always respect his intellectual capacity, his tactfulness, and how he held it down on the post. So I try to walk in his footsteps and try to take it to another level, but he is a template, a great one for me to have, being the spokesperson now, to move in that same direction, okay? So we all here, like the brother said, to discuss unity. As always, put a very prolific point of ponderance into perspective, and that is unifying has to have a principality. You have to be principled. Other than that, it's just a gathering, okay? It's just a party. We all might as well just do the electric slide and go home after we have some fun. But no, we're here to discuss real critical issues. And at the root to what unity is, a long-term unity, proactive unity, productive unity, is unifying something that we have that is a powerful tool that we have. One of the greatest tools in America, this capitalist regime, is the dollar bill, okay? The dollar bill. And the brother said we have to unify our dollars, and I agree. I also agree so much that I would even have to add on and say this. Not only do we and must we unify with our dollars, put our money together, right? But it also has to be an ideology behind it. We have to have not a religious ideology per se. There has to be some kind of socio-political economic incentive, a collective objective upon which would be the fuel behind us having that passion, that desire, that zeal to want to unify dollars. and be serious about unifying our dollars consistently. Not you invest in something, nigga, I didn't get back on the return what I thought I would by this time. I'm pulling out. I knew I couldn't trust you niggas. And then we become more divided than we did before we even tried to unify in our already wretched situation. We want to have principled unity. And one thing you will always hear Brother Sankofa say when I speak in regards to unity, because we definitely need that, is that we have to have a principled unity. We are a people that are products of a peculiar institution of slavery. So the psychological, the socio-political dynamics of what is the divisive realities that keep persisting, that is causing the social ills, right, and the decadence to perpetuate amongst us, we have to consider those things. Much of that has to be reversed, all right, before we can transcend, before we can make our bloodline stronger, and before we do all of that, steps like this have to be taken. That's why some people ask you, what are you doing besides talking on a video? I'm talking on a video. That's doing a lot, because I'm setting myself up for haters, for trolls, also for the law enforcement apparatuses that have no respect, all right, or love for what we're doing. You know, there's many different types of activism. The root word is active. It's an action word. It's a verb, right? So you traveling here from the UK, case in point, brother coming up here from Atlanta, that takes time, money, and resources, and a lot of focus, right? And a lot of patience. One of the hardest things to do is to get black people's attention, keep their attention, and get them to change their minds. But in order to do that, by conveying our message to the lens, right? That is videography activism. There are some people that are on the ground activism. They're feeding the people, clothing the people. Some people are training people in education. Some people are training them in health and nutrition. Some in economics, business, all right? And we need all of those. We need to unify all those different institutions that we have, that we utilize, because they're all important. Yeah, you don't think a news person is activism when it comes to America's plans? Yes. They're puppets for the damn puppet master. There's activism right there. But they're using it because propaganda is a powerful tool. But see, what we need, we don't just need propaganda. We need proper propaganda. We need something not to just make us feel good, because facts ain't feelings. You know what I mean? And we need to go in and deal with that.
And that's what I'm saying. You've spoken into a quick point I was going to ask you next. Why is black media so important? Yeah? Speak on that point, because you touched on it there with the propaganda and changing the hearts and minds of people. But speak, how is and why is black media so important? Yeah.
One of the reasons is why, and I'm gonna let the brother go in, because I love to even if I'm sitting next to him and I'm in an interview, I always love to absorb from this brother. That's a fact. But peace, my brother. All right. The media is important because you got to understand the psychodynamics of what color, sound, motion, images, and words do to somebody's mind when they're constantly hearing this, whether it's in a form of music, whether it's in a form of reality TV show, YouTube videos, narratives, books. All of these things have an impact on your mind, therefore your perception, therefore your taste, your desires, and even your actions. So us being products, and most people, all right, regardless of color and all that, but I'm dealing specifically with us, okay, are products of what is known as mono-idealism. I'm going to say it again, mono-idealism. Mono meaning one, and ideal meaning idea. A lot of that is proliferated through the lens of television, and not just through that, through the frequency, the hertz in which is given, and then the message or the propaganda which is perpetually given to people. You can kind of dictate certain demographics, their tastes, what they would want, what they would spend, what business to put there, what institutions to put there or not, based on propaganda. Now, I don't look at this as just propaganda, but I do, like I said, proper propaganda. I look at this as information. Information is key. And because this is the information era, but there is so much false information out. There is so much distorted information and misinformation out. In order to give information to counterbalance that, or to offset, or to undermine that which we're dealing with, okay, we have to have our own media outlet. We have to tell our story from our viewpoints. A lot of our story is unknown. A lot of the whole truth as it relates to us and our condition in society is not spoken of in truth. It is not spoken of in full and in detail. So a lot of us wane and wax ignorantly more and more because of false perpetuation of misinformation through other media, okay, billboards, advertisement, and it has an indoctrinating type of an effect on people. How do we counter that? When one country has an army, another country has to have an army and weapon to defend themselves, right? We have to have our weapon, and this because information is weaponized. How we counter the weaponization of the misinformation that we're subject to is we have to have teachers, proponents of messages that raise us up, that transcend us from the decadence and ratchetness in which we're subject to. We have to have information to counter that. Do you know how many people are going to be reached from seeing this video? You can't say yeah. You can only estimate. Many. Let's just say many. And this is just when the video first comes out. Long term. I'm saying that to say this. There are people that I've met, yourself from the UK. We are connected because of social media. You found a value in what we do, video activism. Sonetta is a videographer activist, not just a cameraman. Because the topics in which we're doing is dangerous. Truth is not popular. You're putting your life on the line. You're dealing with stubborn people who don't want to wake up. And that is not an easy thing to stay committed to doing. This is important for so many reasons. Because in order to break shackles, information has to be at the root of that. There was more money spent on misinformation campaigns and to keep people ignorant than there is to give people information to liberate them. So by us doing this, we are doing our part, we are doing a great work, and we got to keep it up. And not only that, we're going to step it up to another level. My brother.
Woo! My man said a lot, didn't he?
It's a long one.
Yeah. It's a tough act to follow. But he hit on something that is very, very poignant, right? First, we have to realize and come to grips with the situation in which we find ourselves, all right? We are at war.
That's right.
Until we recognize that we are at war, we won't be able to make any progress because we think that everybody is on this kumbaya thing and everybody's looking out for everybody, and that's not the case, all right? So when black people wake up and realize they're at war, then they'll realize what weapons are being used against them. You have to determine what are his weapons, and then you learn to counteract his weapons. And one of the weapons that he uses is his media. That's a chief weapon that he uses, and not just against black people. Right? The people that are in control use that weapon against the people that they want to control, which is the masses, the 90%. The 10% use that to control the 90%. My company, Comedic Science and Prosperity, we say that we're on the wrong battlefield. We're sitting here fighting for civil rights, human rights, and all of that, when that's not a battle that you can win with this Caucasian. We feel that the proper battlefield is economics, education, and entertainment. All right, we call them the 3 E's. On those battlefields, we can level it. We can compete on a level playing field in economics by unifying with our dollars. All right, in a capitalist economic system, a minority can control a majority, and that's proof because the 10% control the 90% in the capitalist system. So, in education, that's another weapon that they use against us, and it's all propaganda and it's all media. We're the only ethnic group that sends our most prized possessions to our enemies to have their minds shaped and molded. So we need to take responsibility for educating our own children. We have a part of my company is called the Teach Our Own Initiative, all right, where we're pushing to help raise funds for African-centered schools. We did a fundraiser for the Akabin Institute in Atlanta, Georgia for Mwali Mubarudi and his wife. We have to take responsibility for educating our own children. Say that again?
Black Eyes TV 7 live stream show.
Yes. So, we have to take responsibility for educating our own children. Until we do that, all we're really doing is repeating the cycle, all right? Entertainment is an area where that propaganda comes into place. You understand? When they're telling our stories, when they're giving the false news, as Trump likes to say, they just start giving false news. They've been given false news. So those are the areas that we need to concentrate. Those are the battlefields we need to be on. And the media is black media is very, very, very important. But my critique of the black media, and my brother Sonnet is included in it, all right? I don't think we're seeing the big picture. You understand? I don't think our black media is seeing the big picture. I think our black media, everybody's trying to find a niche and control that niche instead of uniting, instead of coming together, working together. Black media, listen, you in London, Sonnet is here, Rich is here. You got people all over this country. They need to unite. All these newspapers, all the black newspapers, they have an association where they share news. AP, Associated Press, white boys, they got, an association where they share their media. Our black media doesn't do that. Everybody is trying to take each other down to build up. You understand? So, it's a lot of infighting there. And until we form alliances, come together, our black media will never be as strong as it needs to be in order to get the message out, to educate our people so that we can stay abreast of what's going on, understand what the issues are that are facing us. A lot of us really don't understand the issues that are facing us, and as a result, we run around like dogs chasing our tail, and we end up in the same place, like today, having a unity rally that we have them all the time. You understand? We have these unity rallies all the time, and we stay in the same place. So that's my spiel on that.
Brothers, I thank you for your comments. Brother Sankofa, we're going to touch base again and speak about them Hebrews and the conduct of the community in some of these events. Yeah? So hold tight for that. The two of you, though, please just say your names and state that you're watching Black Eyes TV for me one at a time. First of all.
In order for the black man to live, the Negro has got to die. Death to the Negro. This is your brother Sutek and Sankofa, representing the House of Consciousness and Comedic Science of Prosperity, and we're on Black Eyes 7 TV. Peace and black power. Turn it over to my brother Sankofa.
Well, we got to stop playing with time because time is drawing nigh. The sand in the hourglass is emptying out in an accelerated pace. All right? So we got to take things serious. We got to get right or get left. Part of getting right is getting our minds right, because that is the nucleus to any other getting right that needs to come out of anything, is getting the mind right. And without black media, it ain't gonna happen. So on that note, I gotta shout out Black Ice TV 7. Peace.
Yo, niggas make a little pay, now they feel they made it. Still rock chains and whips, still on a slave ship. Our history is there and the rest can't change it. Schools don't teach it, seek it is sacred. Honor thy mother and father is the basics. Rise like you're supposed to slip out the matrix. Still dumbstruck thinking this is entertainment. Escape to reality, most lives are wasted. See, enough don't feel the same, that's why we're left grieving. Our resources stolen for street codes, we're bleeding. I'd rather die for freedom than live for bullshit. If you feel the same, holler at me, fam, and let's link. Many don't know the history, that's why their life's a mystery. If it ain't revolution, then it don't mean shit to me. All you seem to care about is gold chains and whips. We had that in abundance, locked in them slave ships. And before that, we had the whole globe in our grip. The belly of this song is the reason why we slipped. I'm a warrior like Hannibal, resurrect through my seed, the outcome's fanatical. Straight mathematical, sleepwalking, pure bullshit you're talking. Teach the next gen, see for them it's important, so they can break free from this degree of distraction. Bang on the beats, never lose your passion. And yo, niggas make a little pay, now they feel they made it. Still rock chains and whips, still on a slave ship. Our history is there and the rest can't change it. Schools don't teach it, seek it is sacred. Honor thy mother and father is the basics. Rise like you're supposed to slip out the matrix. Still dumbstruck thinking this is entertainment. Escape to reality, most lives are wasted.